Welcome, interstellar travelers. Tonight's story begins not with legend, but with discovery, not with myth, but with something unearthed from deep time itself. In western India, in the dry, ancient earth of Gujarat, scientists made a discovery. Fossilized remains, fragments of vertebrae, pieces of something long extinct. At first, it didn't seem extraordinary, just bone, just stone. But as researchers began to study the fragments, something became clear. These bones belonged to a serpent, and not just any serpent. They named it 𝓂𝒂💂💧. Based on the size and structure of the vertebrae, scientists estimate this creature may have reached lengths of over 10 to 15 meters, possibly approaching 50 feet long, a massive, slow-moving predator that once existed nearly 47 million years ago. There was no full skeleton, no preserved body, only pieces, fragments, clues, and yet, from those fragments, a picture begins to form. A creature moving through ancient wetlands, through a world far warmer, far stranger than the one we know today. A world without humans, without memory, without record. Science explains it as evolution, a product of its environment, a natural giant shaped over millions of years. But then, there is the name, Vasuki, a name drawn from ancient Indian mythology. A serpent tied to cosmic forces, to stories of creation, to something far larger than the physical world. And this is where the story shifts, not away from truth, but deeper into it. Because while the fossil is real, and the measurements are real, and the science is real, there is something we will never truly know what it was like. To stand in a world where something that large was alive, to feel the ground shift as it moved, to see it not as a bone, but as a living presence. We reconstruct, we estimate, we imagine. But there is a distance between what we know and what once was. And sometimes, that distance is where the mystery lives. So what do we do with something like this? Do we see it only as fossilized history? A solved piece of Earth's past? Or do we allow for the possibility that discoveries like this are only fragments of a much larger story we no longer fully understand? Because if something this massive once existed and time reduced it to scattered bone, then how much of the ancient world has been lost completely? Not buried, not fossilized, but erased. So I'll leave you with this. We found the bones of 𝓂𝒂💂💧, and from them we built a creature in our minds. But bones don't tell us how it moved, how it hunted, or what it felt like to stand in its presence. And if something that massive once existed, in a world we can barely imagine, then what else lived alongside it, that left no trace at all? Love, light, and cosmic blessings. Mystic, Missy.